I pulled up to this grand final thinking it might be a boring game, but I was so wrong. The Dartmoor Giants played Cavendish in the Southwest District Football League grand final. In the last matchup, the Giants won by 95 points, although Cavendish did beat them early on in the year. The Giants started with the wind, and their star player number 3 was everywhere. Ethan Murdoch dominated the league medal. He was a recruiter from Kingston, but played juniors for Glenelg. He kicked 50 goals from the midfield this year, but the problem is Darty couldn't kick straight at all. They kicked 5 behinds in the first quarter, and it probably was a 4-goal breeze. It was going to be costly. Cavendish made use of the goal scoring end quite well. Now, these teams played in a final a few weeks ago. Darty won by 48 points, but their key forward Christian Howlett was suspended for 2 games after some footage was reviewed. So there was definitely some tension between these sides. Cavendish kept kicking goals, and Darty just couldn't get it down their end going against the wind. Harrison Rees had a great shot around the body, which bounced through. The Cavendish Bloods just could not miss, and this was evident when Jake Hardy snaps from the pocket. But there is a Dartmoor man on the line. He pushes it through, and it's called a goal. Cavendish went into halftime 5 goals for 34 to 6 behinds. This really put the pressure on Darty. They needed to kick accurately with the wind in the third quarter. Started out with hitting the right post and then the left goal post. It just wasn't working. Maybe playing at a neutral ground Melville Oval didn't suit the players. A clash of heads saw Cavendish coach Sam Gibson have to go off the field. You could really feel the tension in the air for Dartmoor, and Tully Balshaw received a yellow card. Got one from both umpires here. Dartmoor have a percentage of over 300, so this was unexpected for them not to be able to score. Darty needed someone to be clutch, and there was Cody Benson. He was best on ground in last year's losing grand final and did kick their first goal of the day. But the Giants were leaving their run late. Murdoch had a long shot. He probably could be a punter in America. Unfortunately, it was another miss. Darty did kick a second goal, so they were 2 goals 11 at 3-quarter time. Once again, Darty didn't kick enough goals with the wind. Cavendish started out the last quarter with a couple goals. It was going to be the Bloods' day, and to be fair, they did finish second on the ladder. It was just a weird day of footy. The first goal down the far end was kicked in the last quarter by Dartmoor. In fact, going against the wind, they started to kick very accurately. But then a huge last quarter moment, a player was pushed after he took the mark and went down, so it was 50 metres. All of a sudden, there was blokes going down everywhere. Now, whilst all the players went in to remonstrate, the game was rushed so that Cavendish would kick a goal. The ball would actually go back into the middle without the players starting in their positions. There was only 6-7 blokes actually playing footy at this stage, and Lachlan Blair was switched on enough to go down the other end and kick a goal. Soon after, Cody Benson goaled after a free kick. The Giants were locked in, but it was just a little too late. It was the Bloods' day, and you know the old saying, bad kick